In a significant development, retired Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid, the former head of Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence, has been formally indicted on charges of engaging in political activities. This comes after his arrest in August, following allegations of misconduct. The army has initiated court-martial proceedings under the Pakistan Army Act. In Balochistan, security forces have killed 15 terrorists in an intelligence-based operation in the Zhob district. However, during intense fighting, Sepoy Arifur Rahman was martyred. The army has recovered a large quantity of weapons and explosives, with ongoing efforts to neutralize any remaining militants in the area. In legal news, the Supreme Court of Pakistan dismissed objections to a petition filed by imprisoned PTI leader Imran Khan. The petition seeks the formation of a judicial commission to investigate the violent protests of May 9, which followed Khan's arrest. The court has ordered the petition to be scheduled for hearing, raising questions about the use of military force during the protests. Turning to financial markets, the Pakistan Stock Exchange saw significant volatility, with the KSE 100 index surging over 1,400 points before plummeting by more than 1,000 points. Finally, on the international front, 79 Pakistani pilgrims have been successfully evacuated from Syria to Beirut. In today's key developments from Syria, HTS's Mohammed al-Bashir has been appointed Syria's interim prime minister until March 2025. He has met with members of the former government to facilitate a peaceful transition of power following the ouster of Bashar al-Assad. The move has been described as a new hope for Syria by WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called for an inclusive and transparent government in Syria that respects minority rights and upholds international standards. The United States expressed readiness to recognize a future government emerging from this transitional process. Furthermore, the UK government clarified that its ban on Hayat Tahrir al-Sham (HTS) does not preclude future engagement with the group for humanitarian or peace-related discussions. However, Israeli forces have escalated attacks in Syria, targeting airports, strategic military sites, and naval vessels. British security firm Ambre reported that at least 6 Syrian Navy vessels were destroyed at the port of Latakia. Hamas condemned these strikes, accusing Israel of spreading aggression across the region. Qatar, Iraq and Saudi Arabia have also condemned Israel's actions in Syria and the Golan Heights. Meanwhile, the discovery of activist Mazen al-Hamadah's body at Sidnaya prison has brought renewed focus to human rights concerns. Stay tuned for more updates as the situation unfolds. Israeli airstrikes have killed at least 34 Palestinians in Gaza in the past 24 hours, rescue workers reported. A single strike in Beit Hanun killed 25 people, mostly from one family, including women and children. Further strikes in Nuseirat and Rafah brought more casualties. Israeli tanks have also advanced into central and southern Gaza. Meanwhile, the Gaza Health Ministry has said that at least 44,786 people have been killed in more than 14 months of the conflict. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appeared in court for his corruption trial, facing charges of fraud, breach of trust, and bribery. In related news, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees highlighted the erosion of human rights in Gaza, emphasizing the need for global accountability and action. However, the International Federation of Journalists reported that 104 journalists have been killed globally in 2024, with more than half of them in Gaza. The Federation emphasized that journalists in Gaza were often targeted or caught in crossfire, highlighting the profession's deadly risks amid conflict.